Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rail back with another review, man. Yo, this is Game of Thrones, Season 1, Episode 4. All right, it's Throne Thursdays. And yes, I know I've been on point. This one coming late. I was trying to hopefully get this out at least before 12, so it could still technically be Throne Thursday. So I apologize to all of my thronies who was sitting there in anticipation that I got on time. I had to do a lot of family stuff today. Water parks, ice cream, the whole nine. Right? I had no way of getting in front of this camera and knocking out a review. But I'm here now. You got it. I ain't finna leave you hanging. Might be late, but damn it, you ain't gonna never not get it. Okay. So, this episode, first out the gate, I want to rank it. I'm going to give it a solid. I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10. It was a aighter. It was an aighter. Um, because I have to compare it to itself. Now, if I had to compare this episode to anything else, it'd probably be tens across the board. It's not one non-perfect episode, right? But if I'm comparing it to itself, like if I got to compare this one to a 10 episode, it ain't going to stack up. So comparing this to one of the earlier 10 episodes, 10 out of 10s, this one's an 8. This one's an 8. Right? It was what you would call a filler episode, but even Game of Thrones filler is info. For instance, let's talk about Viserys, his creepy beach blonde ass. Another thing I noticed, right? They always talk about the last dragon, like they was fucking Bruce Leroy. Viserys running around here like he's Bruce Leroy, and he's not him. Sho'nuff would whoop his ass easily. I got 100 on that. Viserys would catch them hands. Got something in these hands for your ass. Rest in peace, Sho'nuff. But yeah, you remember back in episode 1, I believe, when Daenerys went to that flaming hot tub that was scalding and she didn't even blink? And Lay's like, no, it's too hot. And she just like, I'm here. Now, I want to do a contrast to this episode, this episode, where the slave prostitute girl is really infatuated with dragons, and she's having a halfway decent conversation with Viserys. This is probably the most human I've seen him be, honestly, because he's really a monster. I don't know about this dragon thing, but he's a fucking monster. But this is the more human conversation I've seen he had, like a human reaction. And yes, she was gorgeous and ass naked. So I guess, if you're ever gonna have your guard down, it's with a beautiful naked woman sitting in that nasty soup pool bath. Like, I always hated seeing that shit. Right, when you see them in the westerns and they consider that taking a bath is just hot water sitting right there in a wooden thing, and it's just nasty. It's just you sitting in a pool of your filth. It's like a filth stew. It's just disgusting. That's why look. No, that was a filth stew, and it can't be nothing but bacteria in that water. And that water's not hot enough to fight bacteria off. That's lukewarm filth stew with sprinkled bacteria in that shit. It can't be good. It can't be good. But I digress. But these things, it's certain things that drive your boy crazy. But like I was saying, if it was any time for him to have his guard down and pretend to be a human at least, this was the time. So he entertained her dragon infatuation. And she asks, oh, was the dragon blood running through you? And they call you the last dragon, and he's like, yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that works. But then she takes the hot candle wax and pours it on his chest, and he goes, ah. And that's just a little candle wax. Now, candle wax is hot. Shit could be off-putting, but I'm not a dragon. I don't have dragon blood. But it's only to compare Daenerys' reaction to hot shit versus Veneris' reaction to semi-temporary hot shit. There is a dragon left, but it's letting us know that Viserys ain't it. He is not that dragon. He's a woman beater, sure. A piece of shit, of course. Possible molester, not gonna put that on his jacket, but yes, I'm gonna throw that on his jacket. Fuck is you talking about? I'm not sparing Viserys. He's disgusting. But it's just more of I thought that was interesting, and also the conversation she had. She was ringing off. She was like, "Hey, I ain't never seen a dragon, but I've seen a man that could change his face like people change clothes. Message. I've seen a man wore his weight in gold and had a cloth, red velvet cloth. Message. She's meeting. All these are like when on this rewatch, I'm like, holy shit, she's met all the interesting people that we have yet to see. So that was pretty cool. She got around. She knows a few things. This woman, yeah. But that was interesting. Should we go to King's Landing with Ned? Sure. Nope. I don't want to do that yet. I want to go to the yeah, let's go to King's Landing. I'm sorry. I was going to take it to the wall, but I'm like, no, because I want to progress to the north. I want to end in the north. So I'm going to start with King's Landing. Let's start where it's hot, then we'll gradually get colder. Okay, I don't think that's how it would work in broadcasting. You probably want to start off cold and end on something hot and spicy. But goddamn it, this is real, and this is what he chooses to do. We're going to start off in the hot part and go to the cold region. But so Ned is just continuing his duties of just being lost. It's just being outclassed in this place called King's Landing. And I really want to talk about his different interactions and where you see like he is just not prepared for this. Because Ned is a smart man. The show would lead you to believe that he's a little dumb, that he's a little slow behind shit, that he's blinded by nobility, but he's really not. He's just not as good at the concealing, right? He's not good at being sneaky, but he is smart. He's like, you know what? I want to know. I hollered at the Grand Meister. He was already salty about, he doing his regular hand duties. Right, there's a tourney getting started. He's not thrilled. Fucking people are stabbing. It's lit. It's lit in King's Landing right now. There's about 3 stabbings. There was a drunken horse race. Really wish I could have seen that. Niggas went fast and furious on literal Mustangs. They had 1 horsepower versus 1 horsepower. I would have liked to see it. But they lit out there in King's Landing. When a tourney comes into town, the brothels is packed. Money's flowing, and Ned is like, what the fuck? So the security on the street, they need help. They being outnumbered. The people is coming, and they running them up. So that was about the only little business he had to do there. But his real piece of business was with the Grand Meister. Little shady character. But he's asking questions about the former hand. He wants to know just what was the last things y'all talked about. What? He comes to find out after a little conversation that it was a book that he was very interested in. And now Ned is very interested in said book. But the book is a book of lineages, right? It's a book of the houses, the families of the 7 kingdoms or whatever. And it has each person's birthright and names and this and this and that and that with a full physical description. Now, Ned is like, why the fuck is he going through this? It's not really making sense. I need to know more. Grand Meister gives him a little bit more. Oh, he's been, oh no. But the Grand Meister don't know shit. He was like, I ain't ask him. He wanted to know this book. So, okay, one piece of the clue is solved. He's like, I'm going to take this one with me. I'm trying to figure out what got his ass killed. Then he takes a little walk with Littlefinger, right? And Littlefinger lets him know this is why Littlefinger is such a cold motherfucker, right? He walks him and says, hey, you see those right there? Those are those are his little birds right there. Those are Varys' little birds. You see them over there? Yeah, yeah. That's the queen's little spy right there. You see them chicks over there? Oh, let me guess. Yeah, no, no, those are mine. Yeah, so we got them all over the place. Everybody's watching. Ned's like, holy shit. I'm watched. They own me. And Littlefinger's giving him a little information. He just does just enough to get in Ned's good graces. And he also offers up information because he heard that he was interested in the readings of the former hand. So he decided to give him a little bit more information to go ahead and follow this trail. Well, he has been known to visit an armory up there, and he's been up there several times. And it's not also weird that as soon as he died, this dude got promoted to be a knight. So take that as you will. And it said it could have been poison. He mentions that, oh, that's a woman's weapon, right? That's what Ned said to Grand Meister. So he's doing a little Columbo work. He's being Ned the detective. Ned the detective Stark. So he decides to follow in the footsteps of the former hand. Follows it all the way up there. A little conversation with the kid over there, making a pretty dope bull helmet, right? Takes one look at him, starts putting it together. As soon as he says, "Oh, my mother had yellow hair," that's about all I remember of her, and it clicks. He's like, "Holy shit! Let me look at you." Gets out there, hollers at his mans, said, "Did you get what you?" Yeah, I just found Robert's bastard son. So now I got the last words of the last hand. The seed is strong. Got the book of lineages with physical descriptions. And then I just found his bastard son who said his mother had yellow hair. Now, I haven't seen one non-golden hair child in the entire King's Landing. So Ned has put it together. He now knows what the deal is. And at the same time, he's figuring that out. He's got that info and probably stewing on what to do with this information, how to move forward, going forward. Also, Littlefinger is so cold before I go too fast. Ned started to apologize for not trusting in him so soon, just not trusting him. And Littlefinger tells him something that people, this is what I find a lot in real life. I often tell people the truth. But it's so real of the truth that you laugh and they laugh it off like, oh, it's just real being real. And it's like, what? No, okay. You can laugh all you want. I'm just telling you. Like, your breath smells like shit. You should go get Listerine. Oh, you're clowning me. No, bro. Like, for real, if you get into a woman's face with that type of breath, you might be charged with assault. And they think it's funny, but like, I don't know. Littlefinger told him, like, man, not trusting me is the smartest thing you did getting off that horse when you first got here. That would let me know, oh, say less. I'm glad you feel that way. Me, real, would go, cool, definitely can't trust you. I'm going to take this information with a grain of salt, but I'm going to be watching your ass, and I ain't going to be 100% on board with what you're talking about. But Ned is like, no, I could trust him. What the fuck is he talking about? He's just trying to be clever. Yeah, okay. All right, Ned. Underestimating. But yeah, so Ned put all the pieces together. Like I said, he's not dumb. He's just he's just not, he's ill prepared for this. These people practice in deceit and espionage. They live in this shit daily at King's Landing. Up north, you could do straight talk. Just do this. You know what you're supposed to do. People fuck up. You know what comes. Come here, son. Lay it down. I'm about to cut your head off. That was the most. When Ned cut that man's head off, that was the most democratic. Like, it just felt like natural. Like, oh yeah, you come here. No, you know what it is. Let's not get too emotional about this. Just lay your head down. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. And, I'm going to show you your proper respect going forward. It's just business up north. It just is what it is. It's straightforward up there. Down here in King's Landing, he's just not prepared, man. He is outplayed at every corner. Like, people are sizing him up. So he's not dumb. He's just new. And he hasn't had to tap into these skills. Like, he didn't need them in his day-to-day life. And these people they have PhDs in like sneaking and fucking people over. He's still working on his associates. But that doesn't mean he's dumb. He just needs time. But we know. So anyway, um there's the joust, right? They have the joust. Littlefinger comes up to Sansa in a real creepy way. Like, he's really cozying up to her. I didn't really like that. He was sitting too close. He was whispering in the ear, getting too close. I didn't like it. I don't like it. But he tells her of the story of the Hound in the Mountain. So we got new characters being entered. You got the Mountain, you got Hound. Okay. So now we know why half a Hound's face looks like complete shit. He was tortured by this giant individual on this fucking horse, a sociopath. So, okay, fair enough. And I see Littlefinger likes to move. He showed that he likes to rule with, not rule, but his go-to is fear. It's definitely fear. So what he did with Sansa to control her is to make her afraid of something and then provide the comfort for said fear. That's how he likes to move. He provides Ned with something that would keep Ned a little weary and then provide him a place that he doesn't have to be. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what Littlefinger's skill is. That's what he relies on. Yeah, so during the tournament, Cersei takes off and leaves. She can't stand being around her husband, and she goes and pays a visit to Ned. Now, what y'all saw, as some of y'all probably seen when she walked in, it was like, she was fake giving her play, like, hey, let's just put this behind us. Let's be cool. Having you kill that wolf was a bit extreme, but sometimes we get a little wild when it comes to our kids. And that's because she's no dummy. She knows that Ned, it's no coincidence that Ned goes and finds Robert's bastard son is looking through the same books as the last hand. He's retracing all his steps. She doesn't underestimate anybody. She knows that Ned isn't as sharp as she is, as Cersei is. But she also, what she did was sizing up her competition. That's really what it is. So she came in there after knowing all the things that Ned did and was like, first, let me try to just pretend like I don't know shit. And I came to visit being nice. But my real mission was to test the temperature. I wanted to see what my competition looked like. She was sizing them up. Like Jordan would do anybody. Look at you. Oh yeah, I'm running past you. I'm going on top of you. I'm dunking. I'm going up there. So that's what Cersei did. She took one look at him like, you're a layup. I'm about to post you and dunk you. This is nothing, Ned. And she said all that by telling him, you're just a soldier. You just do what you told. That's all you care. Like, she was really she was just sizing him up, and that's what she came up with. And then he was like, oh, yeah, your father, and she was like, it makes sense. Your brother was born to lead, and you were born to follow, or like you was taught to follow. He was like, yeah, but I was also taught to kill my enemies. Then she looked right back at him and said, me too. I must say, her me too was the scariest part of that whole conversation. Because I don't remember her having a weapon or yielding a sword. You just said how poison is a woman's weapon. And you're the new hand. That was a real threat, my guy. Nobody is worried about you killing Cersei. But you should watch the fuck out for Cersei. So, Cersei's a bad motherfucker, man. I'm not gonna lie. He just outclassed. She came, sized him up, and said, oh, you a dub. This is gonna be easy work. I thought this was gonna be a little tough. I mean, you did go through all this work of figuring out shit. You probably got it. What you gonna do with it? Looked at him and said, that's a dub. Not worried about him. Boom. We have another scene with Jaime and Ned's right-hand man down there at King's Landing. Another thing I learned about Jaime. The whole situation was pretty funny, but Jamie is disrespectful, right? When he knows that he's better than you. Like, he sizes you up, just like Cersei. They are the kings of size up. She took one look at dude and was like, I could wash him in a fight. So I'm gonna talk to him like I could wash him in a fight. So he won't respect you unless you got some credentials. And Buddy told him, like, man, I fought with you out there and so and so. And it's like, oh shit, you did. And his demeanor changed immediately from a pompous asshole to a fellow soldier reliving some times. And that's when Jamie will give you his highest respect. When he knows you was out there in the shit. Jamie only respects power and violence. And if you have the skill to of those two things, like, he's a fan of warriors. He only respects warriors, and he's looking for somebody that could fuck with him. So that's what Jamie respects. You want Jamie's respect? That's it. But that's what I kind of learned from that. But that's about it. We got Arya training to be a swordsman. She, you know, had that little conversation with Ned. Ned lays it out to her like, no, you can't do this. You can do this. Arya took one look at this nigga, stood up and said, that's not me. And got right back to her training. So, and Sansa hates Ned. I hate Sansa. Fair is fair. It's fair. Sansa's, but I guess I shouldn't hate Sansa. She's just a little girl dreaming of being princesses and queens, and my little girl is a princess. That's what she runs around as a princess. But what would happen if she was actually, if there was a time of princesses, kings, and queens? I could see that being annoying if it was actually a real thing. Now it's some bullshit. You're just like, oh yeah, whatever, sure. You're a princess. Yeah. Your horse is a unicorn, of course, sweetie, of course. Just But so yeah, I don't really hate Sansa. I hate what she did. I hate that she almost let her sister get killed by Joffrey and still wants to be with him. I'm trying to put myself in her shoes. I don't like it. I don't like her shoes. This is what it is. So I'm not gonna say I hate Sansa, but she's very fucking irritating. I'll say that much. Now finally, we're from King's Landing. Back to the Dothraki, right? Let's start. So, like I said, that little contrast with that. Daenerys is pregnant, and she's feeling herself as a Khaleesi. She fought back, and it felt good to her. She fought her brother off. He looked like a scorned wife. He was just like, he was clutching his pearls when she slapped the shit out of him with that belt. He said, oh my God, that hurt. Who is this woman that did it? Like, so yeah, I applauded that. She held her own. And she's taking on the Khaleesi role 100%. Don't want to, now her true intentions are out. I don't want him. I don't want my brother in charge of shit, leading shit, or sitting on the throne of nothing. Fuck is you talking about? Nothing. I don't want it. But she hasn't figured out what she does want, but she knows what she don't. And that's all we need to focus on right now. Daenerys is pulling a full transformation episode by episode, and I'm here for each and every one of it. And the slave thing is heavy, because she likes this man that's helping her, that's giving her this information, but he sold slaves and she don't like it. She needs to know why. And I appreciate his answer. Money, Khaleesi. I'm broke, and I had an expensive wife. Oh, damn, where's your wife? Somewhere. Well, what? Somewhere with another man? I don't know. It didn't work out. Love that guy. Just the realness. Let's go to Tyrion at Winterfell. Right? He came through. He left the wall. He's on his journey back to King's Landing. Was like, you know what? I fucks with Winterfell. There's some decent people there. Let me see if they'll show me some hospitality. Comes there. Robert is for naught. He's not trying to show him no love. He's like, okay, well, fuck it. But then he sees Bran. And, we got a new character too. Hodor. Brings Bran down. Now he's the carrier of Bran. And genuinely, Tyrion gives Bran schematics so that a boy with no legs could ride a horse. And I thought that was extra dope. Rob thought that was extra dope, and then was like, you know what? Since you did such a kindness for my brother, I'm gonna fucking let you stay. Come on. Tyrion said, hell no. No, thank you. I don't want your fake hospitality. This was some genuine shit I was doing for him. I thought you would be genuine to me. I'll go to a brothel. That's where I'm most comfortable anyway, but salute to you. And that's when I love Tyrion even more. He's like, Tyrion's such a genuine dude. You would just keep asking yourself, how the fuck is he a Lannister? And if he was of a normal stature, if he was like a regular person, would he be this Tyrion that we love? The answer is no. I don't think so. I think he'd be just a little younger piece of shit of Jaime. He'd be another baby Jaime. So him being a dwarf is the best thing ever. And, and he champions that. And he lets people know, you're a bastard. Be the best. You're the best bastard. You're a cripple. I'm not crippled. Well, shit. If you ain't a cripple, I ain't a dwarf. He'll talk shit and be nice at the same time, but make you own it. Fucking love Tyrion. And he don't want your fake niceties. Which leads me to what I don't like, but don't let me go too far though. I want to end on that Lady Stark bullshit at the end. We need to definitely get into that. But first, our boy Jon Snow at the wall. Here comes Sam Tully. Love at first fucking sight. A bromance that was meant to last the test of times. So we got a new guy in here. And you already love Tully. Samwell Tully. You already love Sam. Because he's big and he's sweating and he's nervous. He's sweating in this fucking minus 20 degrees outside. So he's just a rough man. Just a rough little fat man. And you just feel bad for him. And Jon is not for the whooping up on the weak. Right? So he takes a stand. And he's threatening people. He's already being rebellious. Jon is being rebellious. He's showing you something not good. He's rebelling against the dude that runs the wall. Threatening people with dire wolves and shit. He's acting like a mafioso. Nigga only been out there a couple weeks. But he's been a little too cocky. A little too, none of y'all could whoop my ass, so do something about it. And he got him a little team he could trust, and he's training them. I think Jon's getting a little too comfortable. He ain't really moving tactical, but, That's why I appreciated my guy busting open the door and say, you motherfuckers don't know code. Oh, it's a little nippy. I died laughing. First off, the story of why Jon is still a virgin, Sam asking those goofy, innocent questions, I smiled through that whole scene. Like, well, what color was the hair? And then as soon as Jon says red, Sam's red. Please go back and watch just that scene. It'll just make you smile and giggle the entire scene. I fell in love with Sam off of this alone. When he asks, so what color is the hair? My man Jon says red. Sam is like, oh. He's just like he said that one color and you just felt the goosebumps run through Sam's face just right out of his mouth. He said, oh, red hair, yeah, I like that. And I'm like, look at this motherfucker Sam, man. And then he wants to go ask her like, oh, okay. And then, but how was her, Then he starts feeling on himself. I'm like, Sam, what are you doing? And he was like, man, you don't even want to know. And then Sam's like, oh yeah, I do. I really do. Better than what you could imagine. He's like, oh. I thought he was finna fall apart right there. If you needed to want, that was my favorite scene of this episode. That was the best scene. And who I had winning this episode, I had to give it to Sam. Sam came in and stole the show for me in that scene and in those conversations and in his story, his background story of his father not fucking wanting him and choosing a wall or death. And I'll be glad to lie to your mother and tell her how you died. That's some rough shit. Sam came and stole the show for me this episode. He provided me with the best scene, the best laugh. It was just all of that and above. Like, excellent. Yeah, but so yeah, go down that whole description. And then he even pulls out this sad shit from Jon while he's a virgin. John is so scarred that he don't even want to get no ass out of fear of creating a son that he wouldn't take care of and creating yet another bastard. He don't want no bastards. And I'm like, I respect that. But you couldn't take down the redhead and I'm like, oh, what the, was pulling out was that not a medieval thing? Was that unspoken about it? They not I'm sure contraceptives wasn't a thing. Let's not get crazy people, but I thought pullout was ancient, man. I don't know. He should have somebody to teach that boy. But yeah, I thought that whole interaction between them two, it was just wholesome. And then that's when dude comes in and scares the shit out of him with the cold story, which I did enjoy. That whole group scene was amazing. Talking about how we went from eating horses to eating each other, like that's terrifying to hear. And he's guaranteeing them to that they're gonna die. Guaranteeing that you boys are gonna die out there. Which is also message. He letting John know you're gonna die. And I'm like, man, Game of Thrones be just they give us everything. Like, why is it always shocking? They let us know shit throughout the whole season. And it's just like, but you only understand it on the rewatch. And that's what makes this show so fucking good. But I'm not gonna start going on how much I love this show rant right now. That's why I'm reviewing it. But yeah, so that was the experience at the wall. But I want to wrap it up with Lady Stark versus Tyrion. The Starks, man, outside of Snow, well, he's not a Stark, but you know, maybe that's why he's so level-headed. Maybe that's why he thinks. But the Starks, man, they are a hard-headed bunch. Fucking Northerners, man. Nobody told, like, Lady Stark and them that didn't even, there was no trial. She just saw them start spitting everybody's gang and they signed like, oh, you were East Coast blood of House Blood Gang Compton. He's like, yeah. Y'all still down my people? Sure. Oh, the Ingleside Crip over there, rolling six, just started just recruiting motherfuckers. And they like, yeah, I'm down. Hell yeah. This guy. So she unjustly, which I know, like, this is Lady Stark's downfall. I'm watching it going, she's severely fucked up. Because I'm like, let me get this straight. You're going to arrest, detain Tyrion Lannister. And your husband and your two daughters live in King's Landing, live in enemy territory. And you thought no repercussions would come from this. That everybody would go, yeah, this is justice. This is right. And the Lancers would go, yeah, I understand. If he tried to kill your son, fuck it. Everything's cool. Like, what? Like, Lady Stark, I don't know if it's pride, the naivete, or the just downright entitlement to think that she would just get this off. This was not a plan. Tyrion came to say hi, motherfucker. He was just wanting to talk to you. Was curious. Why the fuck you in here? Not in the window. Like, what's happening? And she said, this is the moment I'm going to arrest him. And this dude with the sideburns tied into a knot on that weird shit was with the built-in earmuffs. Was he not an advisor? Did he think this was smooth? He just stood by the side and was like, yeah, fuck it. This is right. I'm like, somebody clue me in. So she just started a shit show. And I don't like Lady Stark. This is what makes me not like her. I'm just like, you put your entire family at jeopardy. So I know once whatever crow, little bird, little fingers, little voices comes back and lets them know that Tyrion has been arrested by Lady fucking Stark, that King's Landing is about to blow up. They was just into it over a fake beef that Joffrey started, lied. Now you really dead ass detained my brother. Like, it's about to go down. Starks versus Lannisters. And it's not looking good for the Starks. It's just not. And they'll just use Tyrion as an excuse. At the end of the day. Even if they don't want Tyrion. If they don't give a shit about Tyrion. they'll just use him as an excuse to start some shit they wanted to. But yeah. But man, I hope y'all enjoyed this, man. So again, sorry, so late. But family shit, man. But anyway, man, protect your health, yourself, your wealth. Your boy Rel is out of here, man. Peace.